Thank you guys for coming back to my channel. I told you guys in my introductory video page thing that I'm going to be doing a whole wedding series because that's my life right now. The date is 9/20/9/19 and I definitely want to share this experience with you. This video is going to definitely be about organization. I am not the best organizer, but this is really causing me to put my foot down and really it is really causing me to be, you know, organized and set dates and set timelines of when things are going to get done. And you know, and a wedding is almost like running a business, sort of, if you don't have a wedding planner, and especially if you have a small budget where you have to be very hands-on with your wedding. It's like running a business. Like, you have to call, you have to send invoices. This is like your own personal event. Like, if you're not a production manager, then this is your glimpse into the world of production management. I am 100% not a production manager or an event planner, but this is like your show that you're planning, especially if you're having a bigger wedding. Like, it's a lot of moving parts. So I talked a lot so far, so let's get into the main part. First thing first, I would recommend that you guys have some sort of calendar. It could be on your phone. Mine is definitely on my phone. I brag a lot, a Samsung Note 9. I have a calendar on my phone. I use this app called Pinnacle. I would recommend you guys try it out. I think it's on iPhone. What I like about this is that with a lot of other calendar apps, you type, and I'm not so much of a typing person. I'm very technology driven, but I still like my handwritten notes and my handwritten things. It just helps, you know, cement things better in my brain. This app really works well for notes. It's not marketed toward notes, but it's marketed towards people who have styluses who like to handwrite with technology. So if you have an iPad with a stylus, then this app is definitely going to be okay for you. Have everything written out. Also, in regards to a calendar, I would say if this is your first wedding, if this is your first wedding in your family, if this is your 5th wedding, any wedding, I would say go to theknot.com. You should go to theknot.com. It has a checklist, A to Z, of what you want, and it's very customizable to your wedding. So if you're having a large wedding or a small wedding, it is very customizable to your wedding. So I think I'm using it. I really do love it. There's some things that don't apply to my wedding because, like I said, I'm very DIYing this whole experience. What you need is you need a calendar, and I highly recommend The Knot. There's other websites out there, like I know Zola. I think I tried Zola, but The Knot really just did everything I needed to do. One thing, if you're not very creative, they have a website template. And I'm a very creative person, so it was very limiting for me. But they do have a website template that you like, and you put your photos or your videos up or whatever, blah, 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 right? And then you can create your save the dates to match your wedding website. So if you want a really cohesive look, you can definitely do that with theknot.com. Okay? And it's free. It's like you sign up, you put your partner's name, you put your name, and then they all work together and they give you like a website for your wedding. You have a calendar or a calendar app. You have your website if you're doing it that way, like electronically organizing it. The first thing you want to figure out is the culture of the families in the wedding. I have 2 cultures coming together and we're gonna make American soup out of it, right? You definitely need to figure out the culture of your wedding. And it does not necessarily have to do with race. No. It could be 2 completely different things. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like your culture and then his culture or her culture and her culture. He didn't say. You know, your culture as a couple versus like a family culture. For example, like if you really like heavy metal music and you're completely into that, but your family's into country music, well, then that kind of determines how the wedding plays out, you know, in a sort of way. Like, that might determine if your family comes at all, you know. So, determine the culture of your wedding is first and foremost. That leads to everything else. If your culture is very, like, you know, just personal between you and your fiance, then you might not have a big wedding, because that goes into part 2. Your culture determines the size of your wedding. If it's a very like unicultural experience where everybody is the same, has the same culture, has everything the same, then you can have a big wedding. And by big, I mean a lot of people. $10,000, it's not like a lot of money to like throw around in ways. That's why I'm doing a lot of DIY. And people might consider a $10,000 wedding a small wedding, whereas like a $35,000 wedding is a big wedding and it has 2 people. Like, define it how you want to define it. Is it by money or is it by people? Like, you want to have a $10,000 wedding that feeds 500 people, or do you want to have a $10,000 wedding that's for 2 people, which obviously they're going to look very, very different depending on what you're doing, right? After that, you're going to like pick a theme. Like, you could pick that part could really go into step 1 with the culture thing, if you're really being driven by your culture. If it's like a racial, ethnic culture, if that's like the big describing factor of your wedding, then I think you're already done with step 3. My wedding, I'm having it at a church, and I want it to be like on a larger side, like 100 people, and I want it to be like the theme is going to be enchanted, mystical. It's not going to be no fairies, no witches, no goblins, but I just want like a mystical forest where it's like plants that don't exist and things like that. And a lot of the stuff that I want in my wedding does not exist in real life. It really doesn't. And it's not because it's like costs a lot of money to do. My mind is so creative. Like, it's just so creative. So it doesn't exist. So you have your theme, right? And you know, the next step could really go between 3 or 4. Like, they could go back and forth. There's the budget. Like, once you have your theme, then you look at your budget and you can tailor your theme to your budget. So if your budget is $2, then you're gonna hand draw some flowers, but it's part of your theme. Or you can have your budget first. And you're like, okay, this is what I want, and then I'll go with a theme according to that. But I really prefer theme first because you can always up your theme. Like, I don't know the word for it. Like, you can make your theme more extravagant, or you can lessen your theme and make it like, you know, super minimalist. That's the word. Minimalist. Everything, like the theme, you have the amount. It is time to do what every bride does, and this is the best part ever, is research everything. You have your budget, and with that budget you can be as detailed as you want. Like, you can say, I want $500 to go to food, I want $600 to go to the DJ, I want this amount of money to go here. Like, you can be as detailed as you want. I think that does help you. In step 5, the research phase, and I'm in the research phase right now. I am really like going everywhere on Pinterest, trying to find ideas that match my theme. And a lot of the things in my mind don't exist yet, but having like the basic, for example, like mystical thing, I like an idea would be that would fit mine is like flowers floating in the middle of water, like submerged flowers in water. That would be like going towards the enchanted theme. So I'm looking up like lamps that have like fake flowers in water. Like, it's not gonna be the exact colors that I need to be for my wedding, because like I said, a lot of these things don't exist yet, but I can tailor it to my wedding and make it as extravagant or minimalist as it needs to be. So research. Watch YouTube videos. Let me tell you something. By researching and not, like, you know, impulsively buying things, you're going to save a lot of money, and you're going to find it's going to be not as stressful when you get everything figured out, when it's time to actually like the testing-ish phase. For example, like dresses, you don't want to spend a lot of money on your dress. Like, your budget's $500 for your dress, and you're like, oh, there's no way I can afford this dress. But then I go to dhgate.com, another video idea, dhgate.com, and then you're going to AliExpress, and then you're going to Alibaba, and then you're going to Coco Chanel. Coco Beauty, I don't know the name of the site. I'm sorry. I just go by pretty dresses. Because you already have the theme. So you're looking, and you're like, okay, I like that. My bridesmaid dresses, oh shoot, this site has cheap bridesmaid dresses that's good enough quality for me. I like it. Okay, I'll keep that in mind when I'm going through the testing phase. The more you research, you're really gonna be prepared for the next step, which is step number 6. Step number 6 is actually the testing phase. That is when you're going to actually try some of the stuff that you liked, right? So if you're creating a cake, you're going to try to create like a mock-up cake of your wedding day cake, different flavors, different ones that you picked out. If it's like dresses, it's not the cheapest thing to do, but you might buy like 2 or 3, 4 dresses. And remember, if you're buying your dress online, a lot of companies offer to customize it and tailor suit it to your body. But if you do it that way, they're non-returnable. So you might just throw away $200. So just be careful of that. Yeah, I'm gonna squish it. So you picked everything. You got 5 cakes. You made 5 flowers. You made all this. You made all that. Then after you do the testing phase, it's time to go into production phase. And at this point, you should already know your venue. You should already know where your ceremony is going to be held. You should already know how many people is coming. Now it's production mode. You know what centerpieces. You need 6 centerpieces of this particular one, and you need 2 centerpieces of these other ones. You need 3 levels of the cakes. You need all these. Now it's time to go into huge production mode. Let me backpedal. In the testing phase, make mock tables. Make mock tables of how you want your ceremony to be. You'll have a better idea of when it's actually time to put things on for the wedding if you already have a mock-up done, right? Now it's time to create quantities of the things that you need to make. If that's like if you're cooking your own dinner, like the production mode is like how fast can you make this and how many people. Like try to make like a small amount, like out of say like 10 plates. And see how fast it takes for you to make those 10 plates. And then also in production mode, like you're getting your dress fitted, you're getting your dress measured, like tailored to you. You're getting the bridesmaids' dresses tailored. Don't have your blinders on to one particular part of the wedding, because like I said, this is an event. There's a lot of moving pieces, okay, that we just gotta keep it going. Like I'll call it pre-show mode. And this is like the rehearsal dinner time. Like you're really getting everything like ready for the show of the wedding. You're labeling everything, you're organizing everything, you're double checking, you're double counting. And then after the pre-show phase, it's time for the show the next day. Just make sure you like have everything ready so that way when the show comes together, you are good to go. You're good. You're already there. That is everything in a nutshell. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please like. Please support me. Tell me how your wedding is going. I want to know. I'm nosy. Experience. So yeah. Thank you.